Hello Lakers fan, if you are one of those who are always up to date with the news about our Lakers, then you need to stay tuned to what is coming up on our Lakers news channel. I am preparing exclusive coverage on the possible signings of Lake hairs, and what I can tell you is that rumors are catching fire on social media, and if you don't want to miss any information, stay tuned. We have exclusive news every day. If you are a true Lakers and don't want to be left out of the news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go to the video. Lakers trade rumors. Austin Reaves would only be moved for a truly game-changing piece. The Los Angeles Lakers face a critical off-season, with plenty of decisions ahead if they want to reshape their roster into a legitimate championship contender. Naturally, one question looms large: how far are they willing to go in the trade market to make that happen? One name that keeps surfacing in speculation is guard Austin Reaves, arguably the most valuable trade asset currently on their roster. Reaves has been a cornerstone for the Lakers this past season, consistently delivering impact performances. While his playoff run was underwhelming, likely due in part to playing through injury, it hasn't shaken the belief many inside the organization have in him. According to Dan Wyke of the LA Times, Reaves remains highly valued by the Lakers leadership, and the odds of him being traded appear slim. Everyone's aware of the chatter online and on fan forums, shout out to Lakers Reddit, but there's no sense inside the organization that a trade involving Reaves is on the verge of happening, and for good reason. The first and biggest reason? The Lakers genuinely love what Reaves brings, not just as a player, but as a person. From an undrafted free agent to someone who's now flirting with all-star level production, his journey is a story the franchise is proud of. And with a $14 million salary next season, Reaves stands out as one of the NBA's best values, outshining all but a few young stars still on rookie deals. That said, the Lakers are realistic. No player is truly untouchable in the NBA, and Reaves isn't either. But if a deal does happen, it would only be for a player so vital, so transformational, that it shifts the franchise's future trajectory. He's not considered unmovable, because almost no one in this league is. But if the Lakers were to move him for a center, it wouldn't just be to check a positional box, it would have to be someone foundational, someone you can build around. Unless one of the league's elite big men suddenly becomes available, though, that kind of deal just isn't on the table, at least not right now, early in the off-season. Let's not forget, Reaves is only 26, entering his prime, on a team-friendly contract, and continues to grow both on and off the court. Time and again, the Lakers have praised his professionalism, leadership, and the example he sets, the kind of guy any franchise would want in the locker room. Of course, LA will keep all doors open. If a truly unmissable opportunity arises, something that could reshape the team and Reaves needs to be part of that package, they'll do what has to be done. But short of that, he's simply too valuable to let go for anything less than a real difference maker. Austin Reaves reflects on his 2024-25 season. Despite the disappointing end to the season, Reaves had a career-best year with the Lakers in 2024-25. But what stood out most to him? The joy of it all. "I had so much fun," Reaves said during his exit interview. "Forget the basketball for a second. I just loved coming to work every day. Being around these guys, the coaching staff, the training staff, the strength team, everyone in the organization. From Game 1 to Game 82 and beyond, I genuinely had a blast." This genuine connection between Reaves and the organization, and his visible enjoyment of being part of the team, has only strengthened fans' attachment to him. For many Lakers supporters, Reaves represents more than just numbers on a stat sheet. He symbolizes resilience, hard work, and the idea that grit and heart can still carve out a place in a superstar-driven league. The idea of trading him, even hypothetically, has sparked emotional reactions across social media and sports radio. Lakers fans flooded forums and Twitter X with messages ranging from disbelief to outright frustration, urging the front office to hold firm and continue building around Reaves rather than using him as trade bait. NBA insiders and analysts have also weighed in. Several pointed out that while Reaves may not have superstar status yet, his impact goes far beyond the box score. His basketball IQ, playmaking ability, and chemistry with stars like LeBron James and Anthony Davis make him uniquely valuable, especially when you factor in his age and contract. That's part of why the Lakers front office appears to be treading carefully. While they're undoubtedly exploring all avenues to upgrade the roster, particularly in search of a long-term solution at center, there's a clear understanding that any move involving Reaves must be surgically precise. A misstep could not only damage the team's on-court identity but also shake its locker room dynamic. There's also the matter of optics. Reaves has become something of a fan favorite, a relatable figure in a league often dominated by larger-than-life personalities. Trading him, especially for a marginal upgrade or positional fit, could risk alienating a portion of the Lakers' deeply loyal fan base. Internally, sources suggest that Rob Pelinka and the front office are focused on patience and precision this offseason. With LeBron potentially entering the final chapter of his career and Anthony Davis still in his prime, the window to win is very real, but not infinite. The team is expected to prioritize acquiring a starting caliber center through free agency or targeted trade, with names like Miles Turner and Jarrett Allen loosely floated in speculation, though nothing concrete has emerged. As for Reaves, he's not letting the noise distract him. In interviews, he's reiterated his commitment to the Lakers and his desire to keep building on what they've started. His attitude, poised, humble, team first, continues to solidify his standing not only with fans, but also with those inside the building who shape the future of the franchise. Whether the Lakers make a blockbuster move this summer or choose continuity and development, one thing is clear: Austin Reaves' presence is no longer just a feel-good story. It's a key piece in the complex puzzle of the Lakers' championship aspirations, and it won't be moved lightly. Lakers news: LeBron James stresses the importance of the mid-range game for playoff success. LeBron James has conquered every level of basketball. Yet, even with 4 championships and a resume that could fill a Hall of Fame exhibit, he remains as motivated as ever to chase another NBA title. The 2025 postseason felt like it could be that moment. The Los Angeles Lakers looked poised for a deep run, but their campaign came to a halt at the hands of a physical, disciplined Minnesota Timberwolves squad. Despite LA's collective star power, it wasn't enough to overcome Minnesota's size, length, and defensive intensity at every position. For LeBron, the series was both a throwback and a test. He was asked to play center, and at times, it looked like he turned back the clock. But the effort clearly took its toll. By the end of the series, James was visibly fatigued and battling a Grade 2 MCL sprain, an injury that would have likely sidelined him had the Lakers advanced. Even at 40, James continues to evolve, not just physically, but mentally. He understands what it takes to win in today's NBA, especially under the microscope of the playoffs. And in the latest episode of his Mind the Game podcast with Steve Nash, James highlighted a piece of the puzzle many teams and fans tend to overlook: the mid-range. If you're playing OKC, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is being trapped in the pick and roll, and you hit Jalen Williams or Alex Caruso in the pocket, now you're at their mercy, LeBron explained. Same with Boston. If you double Tatum and Drew Holiday is the one making reads out of a 4-on-3, that's what he's done his whole career. That mid-range area, that pocket, it's critical. It's where big-time plays are made. It's where championships are won. LeBron's comments come at a time when the league continues to prioritize three-pointers and shots at the rim, but is advocating for a more nuanced understanding of the game, pointing out that the very best teams win by controlling that in-between space, where elite ball handlers and decision-makers thrive. Players like Shai and Tatum, he says, have mastered how to draw defenders and make the right reads, and it's in that short mid-range area, or the pocket, where games are often decided. It's not flashy, but it's deeply effective, especially in high-stakes playoff moments, where spacing shrinks and every decision counts. And if anyone understands the gravity of those moments, it's LeBron. With 2 decades of playoff experience, he knows exactly how dangerous he becomes when defenders give him any sort of advantage, especially when he can see the floor and deliver a pass through even the smallest window. His strength and vision make him one of the most unguardable players in league history, particularly when the defense is forced to scramble. Looking ahead, next season could very well be LeBron's final chapter. That only raises the stakes for the Lakers front office, who must now decide how to build a true contender around him, one last time. The goal is clear: surround him with a group that understands spacing, decision-making, and how to thrive in the margins of the game, including that all-important mid-range area. LeBron James on why he always makes the right basketball play in clutch moments. Over the years, LeBron has been both praised and criticized for his late-game decision-making. While others might force up a difficult shot in hopes of becoming the hero, James has built his legacy on something different: trust, in his teammates, in the game plan, and in the right play. Some fans have questioned why he sometimes passes instead of taking the final shot. But in LeBron's mind, it's simple: basketball is about doing the right thing, not just the most glamorous one. I've always believed in making the right play, especially when it matters most, he said. Whether that means taking the shot or finding the open man, that's how you win. That's how I've always played, and I'm not changing that now. That mindset, unselfish, strategic, and deeply grounded in team success, is part of what makes LeBron James one of the greatest to ever play the game. And as long as he's on the floor, the Lakers will continue to chase greatness, one smart play at a time. LeBron's commitment to making the right play, even under immense pressure, has long been a defining trait of his basketball identity. It's also a topic that continues to generate debate among fans and analysts alike. While some celebrate his basketball IQ and selflessness, others, particularly during crunch-time playoff moments, still question whether the right play should sometimes take a backseat to the killer instinct of taking the shot yourself. But that criticism rarely phases LeBron. At this point in his career, he isn't chasing validation. He's chasing greatness, legacy, and one final shot at adding another banner to the rafters in Los Angeles. The discussion around LeBron's mid-range emphasis and decision-making also comes at a pivotal time for the Lakers. With a coaching change expected after Darvin Ham's departure and roster upgrades on the horizon, the front office will need to lean heavily into basketball intelligence and fit, not just star names. James' comments about the importance of the pocket area and mid-range play are more than philosophical, they're tactical. They offer a blueprint for how this team must evolve if it wants to compete against the likes of Denver, Boston, and Oklahoma City, all of whom have embraced depth, versatility, and execution over isolation-heavy systems. Analysts on ESPN and NBA TV have already begun dissecting James' remarks. On NBA Today, Kendrick Perkins praised LeBron for pulling back the curtain on a part of the game casual fans often overlook. What he's saying is real. You don't win championships just bombing threes. You need players who know how to operate in the mid-range, make the right reads, and make smart decisions in traffic. That's where the grown man basketball happens. Meanwhile, on social media, LeBron's comments sparked renewed discussions about how the game has changed, and how players like him, who have mastered every part of the floor, still hold the keys to winning when it matters most. Many fans applauded his analysis, calling it a masterclass in understanding the modern game, while others saw it as a subtle nudge to the Lakers front office. Bring in players who can think the game, not just score. Internally, the Lakers seem to be taking these cues seriously. Rumors are swirling that the team is targeting playmakers and high IQ role players in free agency, particularly guards and wings who can read the floor, make quick decisions, and keep the ball moving through that mid-range pocket area LeBron described. The coming months will reveal whether the organization can deliver on that vision. Because with James potentially entering his final season, there is no time left for half measures. Every roster decision, every hire, every possession must be about winning now. And as LeBron made clear in his podcast, and throughout his career, winning in the postseason isn't just about talent. It's about nuance. It's about patience. It's about making the right play over and over again, even if it doesn't make the highlight reel. If the Lakers can follow that lead, and build a roster that mirrors LeBron's mindset and championship habits, they just might have one more magical run left in them. JJ Redick wants to bring out the best version of Luka Doncic. The blockbuster trade that brought Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers wasn't just one of the most stunning moves in NBA history, it reshaped the very future of the franchise. But integrating a superstar like Doncic mid-season is no small task, especially when practice time is limited. Still, head coach JJ Redick and his staff did everything they could to make it work. The Lakers closed the regular season on a strong note before bowing out in the playoffs. Now, Redick is looking ahead with optimism. With a full off-season at his disposal, he believes there's enormous potential in what Luka, LeBron James, and Austin Reaves can become together. Greg St. Jean was with Dallas that year, so he gave me some insight, Redick said during his end-of-season press conference. There was nothing malicious or intentional about the challenges we faced. It's just that building chemistry takes time, especially with star players. There's a reason why, over the last 30 to 40 years, you can count on one hand the number of mid-season all-star trades that led directly to a title. These things need time. That's why Redick is embracing this off-season as a major opportunity. There's real value in having a full summer, he added. I know these guys will keep communicating, and I hope we can get them together for minicamp before training camp begins. That's when you lay the foundation, for the offense, for chemistry, for everything. And frankly, we didn't have a lot of representatives together. That's just the nature of an in-season trade. But I'm confident. I'm optimistic. I believe in what these three can become. Doncic, LeBron, and Reaves already showed flashes of brilliance together, and this off-season is their chance to turn glimpses into something sustainable. But make no mistake, this team is now Luka's. And Redick is all in on helping him reach his full potential. I was only in Dallas for about 2.5 months, But Luka and I connected right away, Redick recalled. There's an age gap. I had 2 kids, he didn't have any at the time, but we still bonded quickly. We've kept in touch over the last 3 years, and that existing relationship gave us a great foundation when I stepped in as his coach. Redick said their first conversation on the flight to Los Angeles set the tone for what's to come. He told me he wanted to be coached, he wanted to be held accountable. And I told him the same thing I'm telling you now. My mission is to bring out the best version of Luka. That's what he wants from me, and that's the core of our partnership. That's the expectation. That's the foundation. We're going to chase the best version of Luka, and, hopefully, a championship along the way. That mutual commitment could be the key to everything. If Redick succeeds in unlocking Luka's peak form, the Lakers' championship aspirations might not be far behind. Luka Doncic thrilled to have JJ Redick as head coach. Luka's trust in Redick is already clear. The Lakers star had high praise for his coach after their first stretch working together. I think he's a great coach, Doncic said. Very few coaches have done what he did in their first year, especially under that kind of pressure. I'm really happy he's been coaching me these past 2 months. Sometimes it even feels like I'm back in Europe. And I love that. We've got a great connection. It's been amazing having him as my coach. JJ Redick and Luka Doncic, building a championship future together. The mid-season trade that brought Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers wasn't just a headline, it was a turning point. But as head coach JJ Redick admitted, adapting the team around such a dynamic player mid-year was like building a plane while flying it. The results, however, were promising. Doncic quickly made his presence felt, averaging 26.6 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 7.6 assists per game. His impact was immediate, and his chemistry with LeBron James and Austin Reaves began to blossom. Having 3 high IQ playmakers on the floor at once changes everything, Redick said. Luka, LeBron, and AR can all create their own shot or set up others. I'd expect us to be able to generate a lot of great offensive looks next season. Behind the scenes, the Doncic-Redick relationship is proving to be just as critical as anything happening on the court. Their shared history in Dallas gave them a head start, and that bond has only deepened now that Redick is his full-time coach. We've built something real, Doncic shared. I feel understood. JJ challenges me, but he also listens. It reminds me a lot of the European style of coaching. Direct, honest, collaborative. That's what I love. This off-season presents a huge opportunity. The Lakers are prioritizing full integration, not just schematically but also physically and mentally. With Doncic's conditioning drawing attention during the playoffs, the Lakers front office, led by GM Rob Pelinka, has made player fitness a top priority. The team is now actively recruiting a new head of strength and conditioning with a $250,000 package, aiming to optimize the physical output of its stars, especially Luka. We know where we fell short, Pelinka admitted. But we also know what we're building. And it starts with Luka. As the Lakers prepare for minicamps, training camp, and pre-season, expectations are growing, but so is belief. Redick sees the full off-season as a chance to establish identity, trust, and rhythm. You don't win championships in October, Redick said. But that's when you start laying the bricks. If Redick can unlock the best version of Luka Doncic, and if the Lakers can stay healthy and connected, they won't just be contenders. They'll be feared. And that, Redick believes, is just the beginning.